Persepolis, the story of a return. Chapter 19. The End. In June 1993, at the end of our fourth year of study, Razor and I were called in by the professor who was head of the Visual Communications Department. "You are my two best students. I therefore have a final project to propose to you. It involves creating a theme park based on our mythological heroes." The subject was so extraordinary that we forgot our conflicts and agreed to work together. We spent the whole summer in libraries, museums, with scholars, researchers, and doctors in the human sciences. In Greek mythology, heroes are predestined, while our mythology is lacking in the notion of destiny. From June 1993 to January 1994, we were so busy that we didn't even fight once. We wanted to create the equivalent of Disneyland in Tehran. We had thought of all the details: dining, lodging, attractions. It was exciting. We worked night and day for 7 months. Finally came the day of graduation. Before the jury arrived, our friends and families were given a chance to appreciate our work up close. "Dr. M, thank you for being here. I'm truly honored." "The honor is mine." Since I was a lot more talkative than Razor, we had decided that I would defend our dissertation. Our mythology is one of the most complex mythologies on earth, but we have never known how to mine it for fear of making it vulgar. Many things like the Holy Grail, the Knights of the Round Table, etc., come from Iran. In our country, we have theme parks, but the motifs are American, which is the reason behind our initiative. We got a 20 out of 20 after the deliberation. "Bravo, my children. It was perfect. Thanks to young people like you, I still have hope for the future of Iran. You should propose your project to the mayor of Tehran. I personally know the mayor's deputy. You can use my name." One week later, "I have an appointment with the mayor's deputy." "You cannot enter with just a scarf. You must be wearing a hooded headscarf." The next day, "I have an appointment with the mayor's deputy." "You cannot enter. You're wearing makeup." The day after, "I have an appointment with the mayor's deputy. It's on the third floor, office 314. This is Gorda Farid, an amazing warrior. With the tip of her sword, she points the way to the hippodrome. "Show me." "Half of your characters are women without veils, seated on the backs of all sorts of real or mythic animals. We can see their shapes and their hair. We'll cover them." A Gorda Farid in a chador is no longer a Gorda Farid. You know that as well as I do. I'm going to be frank with you. The government couldn't care less about mythology. What they want are religious symbols. Your project is certainly interesting, but It's unachievable. I understand. After City Hall, I had a rendezvous with a childhood friend, Farnas. The only thing that could have saved my relationship was this project. Now that it's a lost cause, I think we'll separate. I don't see the connection between your theme park and your relationship. Since we began our shared life, it's the first time that we've really invested in something together. It brought us closer. Do you still love him? I don't know. Then listen to me. A year ago, my sister left her husband. From the minute she had the title of divorced woman, the butcher, the pastry chef, the baker, the fruit and vegetable seller, the itinerant cigarette seller, even beggars in the street, all made it clear they'd like to sleep with her. From men's point of view, for one thing, their dicks are irresistible, and for another thing, since you are divorced, you're no longer a virgin, and you have no reason to refuse them. They have complete confidence. Listen, there's nothing surprising about it. Ever since their birth, their mothers have called them Dudultala, golden penis. So as long as your life isn't hell, stay with your husband. I know your family is open-minded, but everyone else will judge you. This conversation with Farnas shook me, but I didn't agree with her suggestions. I realized suddenly that I no longer really loved Reza. I had to get divorced. I rushed home to tell him. So, City Hall? They don't want our project. Don't let it get to you. After all, it's only one project. We'll have others. I know. I have to go see Grandma. Good idea. She'll know how to comfort you. 20 minutes later. Grandma, what is it? What's wrong? Don't you want to take off that pain in the arse of a hood? It makes me claustrophobic. Grandma, it's horrible. What is it that's so horrible? I think I no longer love Razor. I think we should separate. That's your horrible thing? Oh my, you scared me. I thought that someone had died. You know I have a heart condition. All these tears for a divorce? Listen to me. I got one 55 years ago, and let me tell you that at that time no one ended their marriage. But I always told myself that I would be happier alone than with a shitmaker. Yes, but no buts about it. A first marriage is a dry run for the second. You'll be more satisfied the next time. In the meantime, if you're crying so much, maybe that means you still love him. There's no reason you have to tell him everything right away. Take your time, think about it. And the day you don't want it anymore, you leave him. When a tooth is rotten, you have to pull it out. I followed my grandmother's advice. I waited. I found a job as an illustrator at an economics magazine. I was bored at home. I came to draw here. I'm not disturbing you? Not at all. Make yourself at home. Everything was going well. The rapport with my colleagues made me forget the rest. But 2 months later, in March 1994, an illustrator made the following drawing for an article on Iranian soccer. Jalad, assassin. The government couldn't tolerate a mullah being called an assassin. They therefore arrested the illustrator in question. No one knew what had happened to him, but everyone had his own theory. They must have hanged him. They shot him. They cut off his hands so he can't draw anymore. They tortured him. He's alive, but he is blind. Whatever the case, from that moment on, all the press was examined with a magnifying glass. A few days later, when I got to work, Marjane, they arrested Behzad. Our Behzad? Behzad Radi? Yes. The magazine came out yesterday and they went to collect him at his house today at 5 o'clock in the morning. All because of this. His drawing illustrated an article about alarm systems to protect the villas in the north of Tehran against burglaries. Behzad had made the mistake of drawing a bearded man. But a few hairs not being enough to condemn him, he was set free after 2 weeks. Gila, the magazine's graphic designer, and I went to visit him. Hello. Hello, come in. So, what happened? Tell us. Nothing. I explained to them that my design came from a fairy tale in which a princess's lover climbs into her room by using the long hair of his loved one, and not being able to draw a woman without a veil, I had drawn a bearded man. After that, they started to yell, saying I was insinuating that bearded men were sissies. I swore that that wasn't in any way my intention. And they beat me up. I had bruises all over my body. Finally, well, you pay dearly for freedom of expression these days. Ding dong! I'm going to get the door. It must be my wife. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm Mandana. Marjane, I'm very happy to meet you. And this is Nima. Mandana, can't you see we have guests? Go make us some tea. Actually, they brought some cakes. Bring those in too. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Poor Mandana suffered a lot during my 2 weeks of incarceration. So, what do you do? Well, She studied pharmacology, but we had Nima very quickly after getting married, so now she's a housewife. And how old is Nima? He's 8.5. In July, he'll be 9. Do you have children? No. Marjane's not even 25. As for Gila, she doesn't have a husband yet. On our way back. To think that he was my hero for 20 days. His whole spiel about freedom of expression, while he didn't even let his wife say one word. Ah, Iranian men. Don't say that. Not Iranian men. But men, period. 2 years ago, I was going out with a Spanish diplomat. On the surface, he behaved better, but deep down, it was the same thing. Except here, all the laws are on their side. If a guy kills 10 women in the presence of 15 others, no one can condemn him because in a murder case, we women, we can't even testify. He's also the one who has the right to divorce, and even if he gives it to you, he nonetheless has custody of the children. I heard a religious man justify this law by saying that man was the grain and woman, the earth in which the grain grew. Therefore, the child naturally belonged to his father. Do you realize? I can't take it anymore. I want to leave this country. Gila dropped me off at home. My sister-in-law was there. Hello, Katayone. How are you feeling? Like a woman who's 8 months pregnant? I feel heavy, but at least I only have to bear it for a few more weeks. Well, I'll leave you two. Don't forget that my son needs a cousin. What are you waiting for? We need to talk. We've been married for 3 years, and for 3 years we've had our own rooms. We're not a real couple. We're not a couple at all. We've stayed together out of affection, certainly, but mostly out of habit. We weren't able to admit that we aren't made for each other, because that would mean that we'd recognized our failure. Yes, but I'm still in love with you. When I was in love with you, you didn't let me in. Now it's too late, Reza. I don't love you anymore. Let's go to France together. I'm sure it's the social pressure that's affecting us. But it's for this same reason that we got married, to get around the social pressure. Our love has been dead for a long time. There's no point in trying again. It's a waste of time. I don't know how I managed to tell him all that so suddenly. My grandma was right. I had taken my time, and I never regretted what I said. A few days later, I went over to my parents' house. I want to go to France. That's great. You'll both need visas. Have the two of you thought of? Dad, it's not us, it's me. Razor will go if he wants to, but we're going to get divorced. I knew it all along. You knew it all along, and yet you talked my ear off for a week so you would approve of this marriage. Yes, but if she hadn't got married, would never have known that it wouldn't work between the two of them. Everyone has to have their own experience. Manipulator. What manipulation? I'm not talking to you anymore. Well, you were very happy with your decision. You weren't made to live here. Well, we're very happy with your decision. You weren't made to live here. We Iranians, we're crushed not only by the government, but by the weight of our traditions. Our revolution set us back 50 years. It will take generations for all this to evolve. You only have one life. It's your duty to live it well. And now that you are 24, it's not like when you went to Austria. You don't need us anymore. What did I tell you? Don't worry about her. Our daughter has always known how to take care of herself. It's true. Were you worrying about me? I was scared that you'd ruin your life. Me too. Not having been able to build anything in my own country, I prepared to leave it once again. I went to France for the first time in June 1994 to take a test to enter the School of Decorative Arts in Strasbourg. I was accepted. Then I had to go back to Iran to exchange my tourist visa for a student visa. Between June and September 94, the date of my definitive departure, I spent every morning wandering in the mountains of Tehran, where I memorized every corner. I went on a trip with my grandma to the shore of the Caspian Sea, where I filled my lungs with that very special air, that air that doesn't exist anywhere else. I went to my grandfather's tomb, where I promised him that he would be proud of me. I also went behind the Avin prison, where the body of my uncle Anoush lay in an unmarked grave next to thousands of other cadavers. I gave him my word to try to remain as honest as possible. I also spent some wonderful moments with my parents. Until September the 9th, 1994, when, along with my grandma, they accompanied me to Mehrabad Airport. I had chosen this departure, but despite everything, I felt very sad. My father cried as usual, and my mother kept her head. This time you're leaving for good. You are a free woman. The Iran of today is not for you. I forbid you to come back. Yes, Mom. The goodbyes were much less painful than 10 years before when I embarked for Austria. There was no longer a war. I was no longer a child. My mother didn't faint, and my grandmother was there, happily. Happily, because since the night of September the 9th, 1994, I only saw her again once, during the Iranian New Year in March 1995. She died January the 4th, 1996. Freedom had a price. And that concludes the reading of Persepolis, the story of a return by Marjane Satrapi. Thank you for listening.